Hey, good morning. Wednesday, May 2nd. Got a nice ride from the quality and general manager back to the trailhead. Super nice staff, manager, nice hotel, good value. Recommended for staying if you're going to need to resupply or to get a rest in Front Royal. Nice town, lovely old Main Street. Now I'm back on the trail, and it's about 10:15. Planning on going about 15 today. Temperature right now is pretty good, and supposed to get in the high 80s today, so that could get a little uncomfortable. First exposure to truly warm weather. We'll see. Heck, whether it's a heat wave or a hailstorm, that's not going to deter forward progress. I am on my own right now because Starbucks is taking an extra day, a 0, in Front Royal, and I didn't want to do that yet. I'm going to go several days, I guess it's 4 days, 4 not terribly difficult days to get to Harper's Ferry, and I should get there Saturday afternoon. My brother, who lives in DC, is going to pick me up. We'll spend a night with him and his family, which is wonderful, and then hoping to get back to Harper's Ferry Sunday noonish or so, and maybe see my friend Bill, and before heading back in the woods. I do want a little bit of time. I'll need to resupply when I get to Harper's Ferry, and my wife's shipping me another pair of shoes. I know I'm like the Imelda Marcos of hiking with a giant shoe collection, but I'm always in search of a more comfortable shoe, and we'll see. Yeah, so that's the update. Feeling good, pretty good night's rest. Stuffed myself at some nice restaurants in town, which are all great and fairly priced. And now it's time for some hiking. Talk to you later. Ooh. Hey there. Going around the edges of Front Royal is all sorts of fenced off areas, and looks like it's government property. I was updated by the general manager. The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and the U.S. Marshals Service owns a great deal of land in this area, and it's used for training their own teams as well as police officers. And this morning I got an explainer for why there was a pile of canines and police handlers in the parking lot, and that's part of their training. Is I guess a lot of the training starts here, but then they come into the hotels and get trained on finding objects in both clean rooms and dirty rooms. And so very interesting. It's, we're an hour outside of DC, I suppose, but it's still country out here, which is nice. So probably great for the local economy as well. That's the update. Hi again. Heading up a hill, hot, but just admiring all the plants, greening up the trees and the little plants on the ground. And I was thinking about how nice this looks, and as a comparison point to most American yards, where this is an incredibly diverse environment of different plants. Our yards are generally a monoculture, in particular our lawns, where we bombard it with chemicals to keep everything out but a single blade of grass. And how interesting that is, because that wasn't the case in the past. It wasn't until around World War II that Scott Chemical came out with a herbicide that killed weeds, and they had to convince people that what they called weeds were undesirable elements of a lawn, including clover, which was part of every lawn, because clover has a unique ability to bring nitrogen out of the air, put it in the soil, feeding the lawn. And over time, Scott and other companies convinced America, to some level myself, that a monoculture aided and abetted by chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers were the way to go. Yet if you've been fortunate enough to travel to some of the fantastic gardens in the UK and on the continent in Europe, you realize their lawns are far more diverse than ours. And you see dandelions and other things growing there. And indeed, many of the chemicals used in the US are illegal, even as close as Canada, because of their carcinogenic potential. And I've always had this tug of war. I would like to have, a perfect looking lawn, but realizing at the cost it presents to humans and to animals, whether it be frogs or birds, or even the worms that are in the soil fertilizing as well, is a pretty high cost. And when people recognize that the U.S. is alone in this notion of how they view nature in their lawn, that is, and indeed we've endorsed this industrial lawn notion, which is different than the rest of the world, and pretty contemporary. Just 75 years ago, that didn't exist. It's worth thinking about how you could perhaps plant more natives, tolerate a few more weeds in your yard, and use less chemicals that really aren't good for the animals, our families, the planet, and they require work. Just a thought. I know I'm probably a little preachy here, but I am the plant guy, and I love plants. And one of the things I love is seeing all these different kinds of plants and seeing them grow and flower. Pretty neat. I think if you're exposed to a diverse plant base, then the notion of a monoculture lawn perhaps is less attractive. Just a thought. Hey again, day 67 around noontime. It's warm, not blistering hot. Just had my first of the year unpleasant event, my first tick. I'm hiking in shorts now, the zip-off ex officio pants, and every once in a while I look down at my legs, and I did look down at my legs, and what do I find but a tick there. I flicked it off into the bushes. I maybe should have filmed it, but regardless, that represents an important event insofar as that is one of the greater risks to all hikers. I'm going through a minefield of rocks, so sorry about my view and gaze. But ticks represent one of the greatest threats to completing the AT. In particular, as you get to southern New England, where Lyme disease and babiosa is quite prevalent. So, yeah, yesterday I ordered some DEET that I'll be putting on my bare legs every day. And I think at my next resupply stop, I'll put on my third spray of permethrin. Arguably, I didn't need to do it in February when I started, but I thought, well, just to be on the safe side, I did it before I started, I did it in Damascus at mile 472, and now I'm closing in on 1,000 miles, and I think I'm going to do it again. And, yeah, ticks are bad, just a pain. So, hopefully I'll have continued good luck. Vigilance allows you to find the obvious ticks where your eyes can see, but it's the real worry is where you really can't quite see, and without your spouse or significant other to look in all those parts unknown, that's the fear, is they get a foothold on you and transmit back to this terrible virus or set of viruses. In any case, one tick jumped on, one tick was kicked off, and I continue my hike. More beautiful trilliums here. Did a little bit more reading. They talked about 3 leaves, which you can see, and 3 petals, and that defines the trillium. And if you look out here, I don't know if my smartphone camera is high enough quality, but with my naked eye I can see many, many, thousands of pink flowers interspersed between other plants. Very nice, very nice. It's 3 o'clock, day 67. It's been an interesting day. I am parched. I've got some water left. I'm rationing it a bit, but the trail hasn't been terribly hard. There's been some rocky sections, but you can see here it's fairly smooth, even though it's going up a hill. But the sun, which was in the temps were forecast to be 88. That was down in the town. I don't know what it is up here. I'm sure it's a little cooler, but just the sun and the warmth has conspired to really steal all my energy. I'm just crawling up these steps at a fairly slow pace. I got about 4.5 miles to go to the Whiskey Something shelter. That's its name. And there'll be 15 for the day. Not bad, starting at 10:30 in the morning, in this sun and heat. I'm sure it'll take me a little while to get acclimated to in particular the heat. I've experienced sun, which is of course usually pleasant, but this just came up rather quickly. Sweating profusely now, and haven't seen many hikers on the trail. I haven't seen any through hikers. Seen a husband and wife out jogging. I've seen a few people doing small sections, but other than that, it's been pretty empty. Be curious what the traffic's like at the next shelter. More trilliums. How pretty. Over and out. Okay, I had to start filming again. I've entered an area of the forest where the number of trilliums is really quite large, and hopefully you can see them all. I think the light kind of washes the color out a little bit, but holy smokes, they're everywhere. So pretty. Flowers are gorgeous with bright yellow pistils on a white and pink, I guess they call it a throat. Looks really nice. I'm sure looks like something that Georgia O'Keeffe would have wanted to paint a exotic, if not erotic, painting of. It's so amazing. And coming up to this field, you can just see them by the thousands. Hopefully you can see them out there. But they are out there in colossal quantities, and oh well, very nice. Perks me up a little bit to see such nice flowers. Let me step back here, and here's Zello, and here's Colette.
Yeah, and Rob.
And Rob. These are my 3 friends, one trail friend, all from Maine, and I just want to tell you how kind they were. Earlier today, I'm dehydrated, dreaming of Coca-Cola. I only have 1 kidney, so I'm worried about dehydration. And I just kept fantasizing and talking on my YouTube channel about Coke. And I had seen them earlier in the morning. I don't think I guilted you about Coke, but you popped out of the...
And we didn't pass you either.
No, and they just popped out of the trail in the last 3 miles at the end of a hill and said, "We've got Coke for you." It's like freaking Santa Claus. So, the trail provides, and I am so grateful to you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Many thanks. And it just reinforces everything about Maine is great,
Yes.
including Katahdin, where we're heading.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi, guys. I finally made it to Whiskey Hollow Shelter a little past 5:15 maybe. Beautiful new shelter. Holy smokes, is this place deluxe. And there's 2 veteran hikers here, and I'll let them say hello.
Our folks, Switchback here.
Switchback, who had an encounter with a rock, not a bear, but the rock is the worst for wear, and this is my other friend.
I'm K-Dog,
K-Dog.
and he and I are from Easley, South Carolina.
Beautiful state. And look at all in here. My brother went to school at the Citadel, We got introduced to Charleston and we just loved it.
Yeah,
Wow, look at this place.
I got a daughter that lives in Charleston, and she would go nowhere else.
Yeah,
She married an old boy from Ohio
how
that
nice is this?
said, I will move anywhere with you as long as it's no further north than the Mason-Dixon line. So,
Oh well, you okay?
yeah, she
Great
does the
shelter.
cold very well.
Whew. Good morning. Day 68, about 7:15 in the morning. I'm leaving the Whiskey Hollow shelter, and target right now is the Sam Moore shelters, a little over 15 miles away, which is not ambitious, but a couple of factors. It's going to be another hot one, and yesterday's first experience in high heat really just crushed my energy level. Number two, I'm going through the so-called roller coaster today, which on the map doesn't look too bad on AWOL, but I guess it's a series of many ups and downs that can leave you begging for mercy, and that goes on for miles, the roller coaster. So we'll see. And then the third thing is the sun is up. Man, 7:15, it's already hot. I'm already sweating. So we'll see, but I also have a pickup from my brother Steve, Colonel Steve Pritchard, U.S. Marine Corps, hoorah, on Saturday in Harper's Ferry. So I've got to meter out my time to get there on Saturday. It's always possible I could get there a bit early, maybe do some touristing, which is a possibility. And if things go well today, maybe I'll go right past the shelter and just tent in some sort of stealth site. Last night at the Whiskey Hollow shelter, first-class shelter, built by the Potomac Hiking Club, I believe. Very nice. I got there, I was number 3 there. It was quiet. Right around 7 o'clock or so, a horde of young people showed up with a ukulele and high energy levels, and they kept on coming till about 9. So they first I was a little frustrated since I go to bed early. It makes me feel like an old timer, which I probably am. But you know, in the end of the day, I just laid in my sleep system and quietly listened to their banter. They were gonna have a good old time. And then around 10 o'clock, they just wrapped it all up and went to sleep. And then around 5:30, they all woke up, and in a flash, they were out the door. So I was the last one out of that shelter. Crazy. Slightly embarrassing, but oh well, it's still early. These guys were on the road by around 6:30ish. Good for them. Some of them were smart enough to talk about taking a siesta in the middle of the day in the heat of the sun. I think that's wise. That was one yesterday I could barely function. So we'll see. But it's a beautiful summer morning, except that it's spring right now, and outside of Front Royal on the way to Harper's Ferry, and looking forward to another day on the trail. I'll talk to you later. Hi guys, day 68 again in the morning. These are the kind of glorious vistas you have, or scenes. You come out of the woods, which was quite pleasant, into a field. It looked like this must have been a power line. Maybe it's, my guess is this probably buried gas lines or buried something. And working my way through a field and undoubtedly back into the woods, which is the norm for us hikers. But it's a little past 8 o'clock. The sun's getting a little stronger. I'm a little sweaty. If it was like this all day, it'd be glorious. But it's supposed to be warmer, up into the higher 80s. And but it is what it is. It could pour, it could snow, it could be hot, and I'm gonna keep on hiking. Oh yeah. Hi guys, I'm near a trailhead, near a road crossing, and there's a see if I can film this. A plastic box. It says Trail Magic for through hikers. And someone left out some Pepsis, and most of them were used, but it was really good. I'm having it right now. It's hit the spot. It's getting hot, and I'm just so touched by people's kindness that they would do this. And I think just a reminder to fellow hikers, so much of us have received Trail Magic, have got food out of the hiker boxes. You got to pay it back, man. So hopefully when our hikes are over, we'll carry that spirit of generosity back and pay it back to other hikers as well as others. But, oh man, this feels very good right now. It's still early in the morning, but I'm sweaty and hot and a little tired. But thank you so much. Okay, I've just consumed my Pepsi. I feel wonderful. About to cross the road. I needed to go pee. I'm about to pee. And what do I see? Thank God I didn't pee on this beautiful plant. This is a pitcher plant, I believe it is. It's a beautiful plant. Look at that. And this leaf is going to come up. And if my understanding is correct, that little upright object will secrete a sweet sugar which will attract insects that will fall in and get stuck and then be consumed by the plant, like a Venus flytrap, but different. And how cool. It's not a great ending for an insect, but it's a beautiful plant, and I was happy to see it. And happy to see it 5 feet from the, or 6 feet from the Trail Magic box, and just a few dozen yards from the highway up here. So, wow, keep your eyes open, man. Beautiful stuff everywhere. Talk to you soon. Hi guys. Well, about 9 or so miles past the Whiskey Hollow shelter, and I've entered the roller coaster, which is several miles of ups and downs combined with, I guess, murderous rocks. You know how much I hate rocks digging into my feet. So been doing it for 20 minutes. Hasn't killed me so far, but I guess it's the sheer length of it. Just ups and downs through rocky fields. I'm sure we'll make it. Hey there. Day 68, Thursday, May 3rd. It's in the afternoon. It's about 1:30, and I have reached the 1,000 mile mark. Big milestone for me. Let me think, 20 times as far as I've ever hiked before. I feel pretty good today. One of the things I've done the last day is twice a day when I found streams, I've taken my shoes off, lost some time, but just inserted my feet into the ice cold water, and it's really felt wonderful, and my feet have felt better when I dried them off and put them back in the shoes. So I may have to do that more often. But yeah, I was going to go to the shelter, which is about 2 miles out, but I'm thinking instead of going 15, going 20. I feel pretty good. And yeah, it's a hot, sunny day, partially shaded by the trees, a tiny bit of a breeze. I'm thirsty. I really would love some Trail Magic food, but hey, got some yesterday. That's probably as much as I can count on. And so good stuff. Having a good day. Happy to be here. Lucky me. Thanks for watching. Hi, good morning. Day 69. That's a stream flowing underneath those rocks. Day 69, Friday, May 4th. It's Raven Hollow, and I spent the night in here. I camped further back in the woods in a vain attempt to find a flat surface. And yesterday I made about 19 miles. It's a good day. I thought I maybe closer to 20. And I've run into an issue. I was going to, AWOL clearly spelled out that Harper's Ferry was like 24, 25 miles away, which is a bit beyond my capacity. but Guthook had said it was only 17, and that's what I was tracking all day long, and I had just kind of been surprised, like, wow, I can make Harper's Ferry without an extra night. And I texted my brother and arranged for pickup Friday night. But as I laid in my sleep system last night and looked at AWOL, I could see that there was about a 5-mile discrepancy as to where the ATC in Harper's Ferry is located. And it's not really just the ATC, it's just Harper's Ferry, full stop. So according to Guthook, I have 17 miles, which I can make, and I gotta press it a little bit to get there before 5 o'clock because I have a package waiting for me at the ATC. But if for some reason Guthook is wrong and AWOL is right, then it seems implausible that I could get there by 5 o'clock shutdown time and get my package. So I don't know. My inclination is to trust Guthook, to be frank. So I'm going to press ahead, and with that kind of unknown hanging over me, and I hate these hills. First hill of the day, just leaves me winded, and we'll see where I end up. And I am one sweaty beast and stinky and salt-covered beast from yesterday. I did go to the stream and wash my clothes. I should say wash my body a little bit and put on different clothes to sleep in because I was encrusted. And then I put on the same dirty clothes this morning because at the end of the day I only have one short sleeve shirt. And it's got white stains everywhere. My pants are covered with sweat stains. My backpack's covered with sweat stains. Yeah. So, also having some equipment challenges. One of my tent poles is broken, and I've been able to use tape to hold it together. And that bent and twisted again last night, so I got to address that soon. And then, in addition to that, my water bottles holders, which attach to my backpack straps, one tore out yesterday. I jury-rigged it. Not a permanent solution. I noticed the other one is tearing out as well. Heck, I got 1,000 miles out of this. Maybe that's all I can get. But, so, I think I need to spend some time fixing up my gear, relying on my wife and logistics partner Anna to get me some new water bottle holders, and call Nemo and see if they can get me another pole, one of them for the broken part of my tent. So that's the update. Pack is wet as well. Looks like it had been in rain, but frankly it's just sweat. So, yesterday was 88. Today's supposed to be similar, and then a cooling trend's coming in with some rain over the weekend. Ground is very dry here in the forest, and so yeah, looking forward to getting to Harper's Ferry one way or the other today and seeing my brother, his wife, son Jack. Yeah. Sorry, out of breath. And the whole family. Take care. Woohoo! I just passed into West Virginia. I guess for the next few tens of miles that we're going to shadow the Virginia-West Virginia border before getting to Maryland. But that's pretty cool. One more state. Darn, that Virginia state, 500 or 600 miles over a month of hiking. That was something. Now West Virginia. Thank you. Happy to be here, West Virginia. Looking forward to Harper's Ferry. Take care. Good morning again. I'm at Raven Rocks, just a short distance from where I sheltered. I sheltered at Raven Rocks Hollow. One house there in the distance. Trees all greening up. And temperatures. It's really nice right now. I'm still sweating bullets because I came up a steep hill. But a little bit of a breeze. Yeah, not bad. Reminds me of positive early morning golf weather, which wouldn't be a bad thing to be out golfing right now, knowing that you could sweat for 18 holes, get some hydration, then get home and shower up. But my shower is coming tonight. I'm looking forward to it. See you later. When I got into my sleep system last night, I measured the distance I had done with AWOL, and it said only 17. I was pretty disheartened because I felt like I had done far more. And so I measured it with gut hook this morning and said I did over 21. So in addition to the discrepancy on today's mileage, gut hook saying 17 into time, AWOL saying well over 20. Yesterday the mileage counts were off as well. So I don't know, all I can tell you is it felt like it was more than 15, more than 17. It felt like it was about 21 or 21 plus, which it came out to. But yeah, it's frustrating when you have two reference guides that don't agree. Since gut hook can be updated electronically and relies on GPS coordinates, my inclination is to trust that. Plus it's favorable to my outcome for today. But neither is infallible, so that's the determination of who was wrong is still up in the air. I'll talk to you later. Hi guys, day 69, late morning. I'm out of the so-called roller coaster, but you'd never know it. Occasionally we have very smooth terrain, and then, as you can see here, it's just a rocky jumble that goes on and on and on, much to the unhappiness of my feet. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how rocky this is. I guess that's one of my major takeaways from the AT is how many rocks there are. I knew where I hike in the White Mountains, rocks were pervasive, but I didn't think there were so many rocks down here on the rest of the trail. But it is what it is. I guess it adds to the folklore and making it something that's admirable and worthy of pride, completing the AT, having survived this crazy minefield of sharp-edged rocks. But I hope if you're thinking of coming out here, your feet are getting toughened up because they'll need to. This is brutal. Talk to you soon. Hey there, about at mile 1017. Friday, May 4th, day 69, and just see this beautiful dogwood, Cornus florida, I believe it is, blooming in the woods here, looking fantastic, and I thought I'd take a picture of it. The first one I think I've noticed on the trail, at least the first one I've noticed blooming. It's very nice. Unfortunately, it's being afflicted with a range of pests, but I'm happy to see it in this location prospering. Day 69. Got about 3 miles to go into Harper's Ferry, and every foot of this trail is just a jumble of sharp-edged rocks. It's pretty atrocious, and I'm also low on water, which is making me unhappy. Trail is very dry. It's supposed to rain. It's Friday now. I think it's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow, and probably use a good soaking, though I'd prefer to stay out of it. But these rocks have just well, they've dampened my spirit, put it that way. And it's just the fact that it's gone on and on and on with no end in sight is just the crazy thing. But I know it's going to end 3 miles to Harper's Ferry. I think it's about 1.5 miles to water, and I'm a bit desperate for it right now, so looking forward to each. Talk to you soon. And also, my brother's going to pick me up around 6, so I just have to stay focused on those 3 positives. This is the beautiful town of Harper's Ferry. These beautiful period buildings. Very, very nice. Just had hamburger, a couple of beers at this place, Almost Heaven. They closed early, 4:30. And I'm just going to walk through town here, see what's going on. I wasn't going to spend the night here, but then my transportation plans changed, and my brother's stuck in traffic, so I'm going to spend the night at a hostel here, and then he's going to pick me up in the morning, and I'll get to see him and his family for a day, which should be good. And so this is a good place. Very small area, but still very attractive and nice. Yeah, look at those buildings. I love this kind of stuff.